Johanna, we're live.
We're live! Hooray! We're here! We have arrived.
We arrived. So thank you for being with me today. And yeah, so how are you today? This is Sunday, 4 p.m. Eastern Time, April 3rd.
Aha! Yes, I am very well. I'm really happy and excited to be here with you. And yeah, it's a little gray today. I was kind of hoping it would be sunny and I could sit outside on my back porch, but no such luck this time.
Yeah, thank you so much. And now I'm gonna read a short version of your biography to our the audience. Okay, Johanne Kesten, a fourth generation entertainer, is an HB studio trained actor, voice actor, and singer. Regional credits include Babbitt in Arms, Terry Thompson at Berkshire Theatre Festival, Beauty and the Beast at the Sharon Playhouse, and soloist at Newport Music Festival. She can be seen in the upcoming film Guilty Consciousness. Is that
Guilty conscience, yeah.
Guilty Conscience, set to the release later this year. She is also an active ambassador for the 529 Club on Clubhouse, where she co-hosts a weekly audition workshop for actors on Wednesday evenings. Thank you so much for joining me. And
Thank you for having me.
Where are you right now?
Right now, I am in the Berkshires in Western Massachusetts and out in the country, but I do a lot of traveling back and forth to New York as well.
Yeah, it's beautiful, beautiful. I see you have some horsey in the background.
Yeah, we've got 6 horses out the window over here. And a few chickens and a guinea hen and some dogs running around and my 16-year-old. You know, we like to keep ourselves busy.
Wow, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. So tell me a little bit how you from how you became in the entertainment business. You told us you have 4 generations. You are the 4th generation of entertainer. So tell us a little bit your very, very famous grandfather.
Yeah, my grandfather was Victor Borge, the pianist and comedian, the Great Dane, as he's been known to be called, or the Clown Prince of Denmark, which was a really special experience to grow up in that and to get to just witness his brilliance. You know, he was incredible. He was an amazing musician and very, very funny man.
Where his funny bone came from? Is it like from his father or?
I don't, so his father was the first viola for the Royal Danish Symphony.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Violist?
Yeah.
Violist?
Yeah. And my great grandparents on my father's side, on my father's mother's side, were also musicians. And I think one of them played the viola as well, which is interesting that I never picked one up. Maybe it's time.
Yeah.
Maybe it's time.
Never too late.
So I know he was taught piano by his mother, and he started playing very, very young. He had his first command performance for Danish royalty when he was in his early teens, I believe. And then he found vaudeville and really, really enjoyed that, and he wanted to continue down that vein. And so he did. He found a way to bring the two together. Yeah. And he was a very famous vaudevillian, and he was in films in Denmark before the war, before World War II. And then during the occupation, he left and came here and started all over again. Learned the language, didn't know the language when he got here, and built himself a career all over again here.
Yeah, it's awesome. And he's also, a virtuoso pianist. I mean, he not only just make jokes using piano, but he's like, he plays so wonderfully. So he's one of the really geniuses, in musical, funny musical way, right? It's like very traditional, not very traditional, very authentic.
Yeah. Extremely. And he was so, his comedy was based around language and relationships with people and things like that. And it was so interesting that the things that he found to use.
Yeah. So tell me, how, so did he grew entertainer because he was one. Did so the relationship is he's your grandfather. So what happened with the Victor's son?
My
Or
actually his daughter. My mother was an
yeah.
actress.
So your mother is also actress.
Yeah. My mother was an actress and my father was a line producer. I kind of grew up in it all over everywhere. I've got other family in the industry as well.
Yeah.
And my mother studied with Uta Hagen and Stella Adler and Sanford Meisner and was really doing the thing for a long time. Which I was so lucky to get to have her then. You know, she studied with all these wonderful people and she really brought me up in it as well and shared with me what she was able to glean from all of those fantastic teachers. So I feel very lucky to have had that base for myself.
Yeah. And I understand you had some theater training when you were even in high school. So tell us about that.
Yeah, I did. I attended the NYU Tisch Summer High School intensive in between my junior and senior year of high school. And I was accepted to Emerson College. And my senior year, things went a little sideways, more than a little. My father passed away in the middle of my senior year. And so everything just sort of from that point on for a little while was rough. I didn't finish at Emerson. I was having anxiety and it was, you know, you need access to a lot of emotional pieces of yourself when you're studying at that level. And it was too hard for me and I just wasn't able to get there at that time. So I came home and continued studying and continued working and continued doing until I was in my mid-20s.
That's nice. Yeah. So you actually, where were you born? You're in Massachusetts now, but is that where you were born? Oh, okay.
I was born in Manhattan. I was born in New York at Lenox Hill.
So you're a New Yorker. Wow.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's why you feel really comfortable coming back, right?
Yeah, we spent a lot of time going back and forth. I think I mentioned before we were on that my father was, I mentioned here already also as well. My father was a line producer and he was back and forth once a week for screenings. So I'd go down with him to see films that were being screened at MoMA or wherever.
Tell us, what is a line producer?
So the line producer is the one who's in charge of making sure everything stays on budget and stays on time and he's the organizer. He was the organizer. He was very good at what he did. And he tried like hell to teach me to be organized. Didn't exactly stick, but I'm working on it.
Yeah. So what happened? And now you are involved in theater, also singing, all these coming at the same time, or tell us a little bit about your, art training.
I've always wanted to be acting. I've always wanted, as far back as I can remember. My father I have a huge collection of VHS tapes of all the old movie musicals and all of that because we were out here in the country. There wasn't as much access. So he'd get me these tapes and I'd just devour them and watch them over and over and over again. And I just knew that was where I wanted to be and that was what I wanted to do. And again, growing up, seeing my grandfather perform and things like that, it all came together. I think it was just in me. It's just, where I'm meant to be. My parents tried to get me piano lessons when I was much younger. And that worked for a little while until I started bringing music for the piano teacher to play so I could sing. And then they decided that voice lessons were probably a better investment. And so there I went down that road. And I've been singing since I was a child.
Yeah, that's wonderful. So I have one sample of your singing with Sandy
McKnight.
Tell us a little bit about that soundtrack, and we're going to play a little bit.
So this is a track called Breakdown that he reached out to me last year and said, hey, I've got this song I want you on. And we have a friend nearby with a studio, and we went into the studio for a day and made it happen. It was a lot of fun to record. It's a really fun, upbeat piece. And Sandy is a great friend. He's a writer and a playwright as well. And we do some improv and stuff together and sketch comedy as well sometimes.
Great. So we'll play a little bit, okay?
Yeah.
The day it started with the usual things. A cup of coffee and some cinnamon rings. I asked you something, but you said nothing, and I knew it had to be a bad sign. I checked the mail and I walked into town. I did some shopping and some stopping around. But when I got back, you had your backpack and a note you'd forgotten to sign. 'Cause you said, I've been unhappy and I must get away. Feel so damn crappy almost every day. Something is wrong, what it is I can't say. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. It's when I had a breakdown by the side of the road. I can't start it up again. It was a breakdown, breakdown. Had to call AAA, had to tow me away. It was a breakdown. Yeah, yeah. The road was wavy and my vision got blurred. Every thought I had just...
Sorry, you have
No, yeah.
So it's the
Get
same
into
thing.
it.
It's beautiful. Yeah, nice. Very nice.
That was a lot of fun to make.
Yes. So it has a little bit country,
A little country,
flavor,
a little, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and
For
you
sure.
did a double.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's cool. Very
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, it's like a spice in it, you know,
Yeah.
when the
And that big belty sound.
Yeah,
right?
do you have to speak like a country person at all? Do you? Like, you know.
I mean, I can
Yeah.
if you want me to. I've got it in me, but no, not normally. No, I don't.
Oh, okay, yeah.
No, I'm
That's
gonna get
beautiful.
stuck there if I'm not careful.
Yeah, Mark is here.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Sharkfin. Yeah, Sharkfin and is
Nice to
very
see you
nice.
again.
Hi, Mark. Yeah, it's good to
We
see
met
you.
at your film, which I went to go see a screening of a couple weeks ago. My Yang Gang Diary. I got to meet Sharkfin. That was really a lot of a great film. If you haven't gone and seen it yet, go see it. It's on Vimeo. I know.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a link below.
Yeah. I'll give you a
And
link.
if not, you
Yeah.
can certainly find it on Ching Juhl's social media. It's really, really worth watching. It was a beautiful, beautiful portrait of an amazing community that came together around this campaign.
Thank you so much. You know, I feel very fortunate to have so many people support. You know, you represent 529 you are the ambassador. So tell us a little bit, what is 529?
So the 5 to 9 Club is a group of creatives that was begun in 2009 at Pinewood Studios in London. And they would get together once a month. They convinced the bar to stay open from 5 to 9 once a month. And they'd all get together for networking and cocktails. And so it became known as the 5 to 9 Club, 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. And then when the pandemic happened, Deborah Wooten found Clubhouse and brought the collective to Clubhouse, which is now we're over 8,500 strong. It's a global community. We do a lot of networking and chit chat and meeting of people and bringing people together that are in the film, TV, theater, creative space. And I was so lucky to have found them during the pandemic. It was really an amazing group of people to be able to connect with. We do, I think you mentioned the actors workshops on Tuesday afternoons. There's one at 2 p.m. Eastern. And then on Wednesday evenings, there's another one on at 9 p.m. Eastern. And we post a couple of sides and you can go and choose which character you'd like to read as an actor. And we do a little bit of audition prep and practice and working out those muscles. It's a really, really great opportunity to come get some time in.
That's so wonderful. I'm very moved by you guys and the support you gave me and my film. And and Deborah, just acted on it. Sometimes people say they want to do, but some people actually do what they say. And I really appreciate you. And you came all the way from Massachusetts and just come to New York. I know you come often, but still, I really appreciate it. And you also greeted us at the Greek restaurant before the film. And we sat there, we chatted. So I think this kind of support is very appreciated and also very important for us. So and tell us a little bit about, I want to play a little bit of your audition, what do you call the link?
Oh, the Vimeo of some people.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about
that. So last summer, I believe it was, we 5 to 9 put on, I wasn't involved in the putting on of it, but 5 to 9 Club put on a musical theater competition on Clubhouse. With some fantastic judges and some really amazing opportunities for people to be out there and be being heard. And this was the song that I sang for the finals of that competition. Pardon me. Where I came in 5th out of, I think there were over 150 people that auditioned for that. And there was a great group of, I believe, 10 in the finals, 10 really, really talented performers. And so this is some people from Gypsy.
Oh, okay. Some people. Okay. I thought it's acting thing. Hold on.
Oh, no, it's singing.
Okay. Oh, okay.
We're singing.
All right, let's go. Let's hear that.
More singing in my living room.
It's nice. You can see the horsey back.
Yeah, exactly. The horses are out there.
Okay, here we go.
If I die, it won't be from sin. It'll be from fighting to get up and get out. Some people can get a thrill knitting sweaters and sitting still. That's okay for some people who don't know they're alive. Some people can cry and blues, living life in the living room. That's perfect for some people of 105. But I at least gotta try. When I think of all the sights that I gotta see yet, all the places I gotta play, all the things that I gotta be yet, come on, Papa, what do you say? Some people can be content playing bingo and paying rent. That's perfect for some people, for some humdrum people to be. But some people ain't me. I had a wonderful dream, Papa, all about June in the Orpheum Circuit. Give me a chance and I know I can work it. I had a dream, just as real as can be, Papa. There I was in Mr. Orpheum's office, and he was saying to me, Rose, get yourself some new orchestrations, new routines, and red velvet curtains. Get a feathered hat for the baby, photographs in front of the theater. Get an agent, and in jig time you'll be being hooked in the big time. Oh, what a dream, a wonderful dream, Papa. And all that I need is $88, Papa. That's what he said, Papa. Only $88. Goodbye to blueberry pie. Good riddance to all the socials I had to go to, all the lodges I had to play, all the Shriners I said hello to. Hey, I'm coming your way. Some people sit on their butts. Got the dream, yeah, but not the guts. That's the living for some people, for some humdrum people, I suppose.
can stay and rot. But not rose.
Ooh.
Well, thank you.
Okay, let me put this away. That was wonderful. So, yeah. So tell me one more time, who wrote this?
That is, oh, good lordy. I know the lyrics are Stephen Sondheim.
Oh, okay.
And I should know that.
Probably he wrote the melody too.
He did not. This was when he was he was still very young.
Oh, okay.
That's what Google's good for, though.
But this is very Broadway.
It's very Broadway.
Kind,
Yeah.
Gypsy kind of singing.
Yeah. That's one of those roles that I really hope that I get to play one of these days.
Yeah. Are you an alto?
I am. I think I fall somewhere between mezzo and alto.
Yeah. Beautiful.
And a big belt.
Yeah. So, tell me a little bit about, now you obviously came from a entertainer family, and you know your early childhood seems very, very smooth, and you had a good influence artistically from your parents, your grandfather. So how would you advise someone is 20-year-old, like how did you overcome some of the difficulties you have to deal with?
It's been a little bit of a rocky road, up and down and back and forth. Just keep going. Keep going. One foot.
Did you ever feel rebel, or it just happened to you? Because you're coming from this very nice family, comfortable family.
It's interesting. I think there was definitely a time where I wanted to prove that I could do it on my own. And that I think still exists a little bit. I think there's always this sort of, I don't want to be hired because I'm Borga's granddaughter. I don't want to be hired because I'm Kesten's daughter. I don't want to be hired. I want to be hired on my own merit, for sure. And that's something that I do occasionally. I used to, at least when I was younger, think about. But I also, I walked away for quite a long time too, for about 10 years. I was a single mother, a very young single mother, at 22. And kept working for a few years. And then I think I was about 26 when I finally decided I needed to step away so I could be home and raise my daughter, and she would have me there, which she needed. And then it was actually the summer of 2019 when I decided, you know what, I need this. I need this in my life. It's that important. It's not something that I can just walk away from. No matter how hard I try, it just kept coming back around.
Right.
And so you start putting one foot in front of the other again.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about when you returned 2019, you played in a theater piece. Is it Beauty and the Beast?
The first thing, so like I said, I decided I'm coming back. I'm going to do this. I went and auditioned at the Sharon Playhouse, which is a place where I had worked prior to leaving quite a few times, and it felt like home. It's nearby, and it's a place where I could really find a jumping off point again. It was kind of coming full circle for me. And I played Madame de la Grande Bouche in Beauty and the Beast.
Ooh.
And that was a lot of fun. I got to be a dresser. It was hot, but it was
yeah.
And it re-sparked it for me. And I started coming back. I started coming down to the city for classes with HB in that of January of 2020. And then we all know what happened next, everything, the whole world stopped. But I was lucky enough to, that everything when everything went online, that was huge for me, because again, I didn't have the access to professional classes here before. There are some, but they're few and far between in the area. I didn't have, I just, like I said, to suddenly have that access and not have to leave my daughter behind and not have to be running back and forth. I got some really fantastic training. I went back to school during the pandemic. And it was really wonderful. really wonderful to be able to just dive back in and be like, it was like I was in college again, you know, and really got to do that this time.
I hear a little echoing.
Is it echoing or is it?
Yeah, me. I hear myself. Do you have any device open?
I don't. I just I haven't changed anything.
Okay, that's better now. Yeah, just for a moment.
Okay.
So tell us a little bit. What? How to say? A lot of people say you want to be actor or actress, you have to go to Los Angeles or you have to come to New York. Of course, you come to New York sometimes, but how can you deal with that if you stay in your farm country in Massachusetts? Do you still think you can get things done?
I absolutely do get things done. You know, again, the pandemic has really changed everything on that front. I worked from home for the first year of the pandemic. I worked from home doing live murder mysteries on Zoom, improv for colleges all over the world. And that was a ton of fun. So I got to get that experience in and have that time. My mother actually also joined me in those. So we got to do some stuff together finally, which was a lot of fun. That was started by a friend of mine, Jamie Weisberg DeMasso, who is a very talented lady herself. I had done a few live ones, and when it went online, she called me up and she said, let's figure out how to move this into the space. And we did a great thing, and it was a lot of fun. And then of course, Clubhouse as well has been a great resource for me because I have met so many people. I've been creating community there. And it's a really wonderful, supportive community, especially within 5 to 9, as well as a couple of other groups that I'm involved with through Clubhouse.
Tell someone if they, believe it or not, a lot of my friends still don't know what is a Clubhouse, including my family in China. So how would you tell someone what the hell is Clubhouse?
I'm constantly trying to answer that question. So what I tell people is it's a live drop-in audio social media. So you open up the app and you've got a list of rooms that are going on at that moment, and you pop into one of those rooms, you click on one of those rooms, and all of a sudden you're listening to a conversation about any topic under the sun from anywhere in the world. And people, it's been really amazing to see how people sort of find their community and find their niche. And, you know, you start following people on Clubhouse and you start seeing more actor rooms because they're going into the actor rooms, or you start seeing, I've been on Clubhouse for a year plus now, and I'm still finding actors communities that I didn't know existed, and I'm still finding new people, and I'm still finding new experiences. 5 to 9 does a lot of, we do radio plays on Clubhouse, which has been so much fun. We also do table reads off of Clubhouse, but on Zoom, for new scripts for writers who are people who are working up a script for a pilot or for a film. And we, the actors for those Zoom table reads are chosen out of our Tuesday and Wednesday audition workshop rooms. So that's been another, you know, there's just multitudes of opportunities. I have a film, Guilty Conscience, that I shot at the end of last year, that I actually initially auditioned for on Clubhouse. I met these people on Clubhouse. I started going in and reading with them and working with them, and he cast me in a film that he was making, and so I'm really looking forward to that coming out. That's going to be really great. But again, these you find your little pocket of people, and it's just amazing what people are doing. I'm collaborating with another group. We used to get together about 6 times a week, and we'd pick a script online and hand out parts when we got there, and we'd just do a table read of a script of a film that's already been made, you know, or sometimes we did animation, which was so much fun. But it was a great way to work out those muscles and keep yourself doing stuff while there was nothing happening. Keep acting, keep learning techniques of script analysis, keep working on your cold read skills, keep working on, you know, just keeping those muscles flexing.
Mm-hmm. Look, I have the 5 to 9 Now on the screen. Yay! Look, somebody just posted yesterday about some microphone setting. And then I posted us.
Oh, there we are.
That's you
That's
and
my face.
me. You look like 12 years old.
I know. I don't know how that happened, but I love it. I love that.
So I was like, Deborah Wooten posted, some information.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's so nice. This community is so supportive, and then I shamelessly did it again later. But anyway, so it's nice. Yeah, so people, you can join. You don't have to be an actor to join, right? It's open.
No, it's
It's
open to
open to
anyone
everybody.
and everyone and
Yeah.
any type of creative in the industry. It doesn't matter what you do.
Yeah.
Come join us. We have a lot of fun.
You
And
have 2.6K members.
yeah, on
Nice.
Facebook, on Clubhouse, I think we're at 8.7 or something like that. The last I
Wow.
checked.
Wow. What is this picture about?
I believe that is from the before times.
Okay. Yeah, 2009 to 2019. Seems like
Yeah,
they're
so that must have
probably
been a
in
gathering.
England. Maybe
Yeah.
in England?
Mhm.
Yeah. Awesome.
Probably.
Cool. So tell us a little bit. Let me take this out. Tell us a little bit about your film project. You
So-
shoot something on 2021.
So that was Guilty Conscience.
Mhm.
Written and directed by Greg DaCosta, who is a great up and coming filmmaker. And it is a thriller.
Mm.
I don't want to give too much away, but I am
No.
playing a therapist.
Oh, you are.
You know,
You look
yeah.
like one.
Well, thank you. Yes, very professional. Very professional at all times.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's gonna be it was a really fun project to work on. I got to meet some Clubhouse people that I hadn't gotten. That's always really exciting too, right? When you get to meet these people in person, like we did a couple weeks ago, and suddenly this disembodied voice that's been coming out of your phone has a whole body, and it's a whole person, and that's really fun and cool.
Yeah. So
Um,
is that a feature?
It is a
length?
feature, yeah.
Oh,
Mhm,
okay.
independent
Yeah.
feature.
So what's the? Are you in or post production or?
Yeah, they're in post production right now, and hopefully, I don't have a release date yet, but as soon
Mhm.
as I do, I'll be sharing it all over the place. And you can certainly follow the film on Instagram at Guilty Conscience Movie.
Uh-huh.
And that is a great thing to keep an eye on because that should be coming out pretty soon, and it's going to be really a lot of fun.
Yeah. So we don't want to know the plot, like how
right.
many.
I don't want to give too much away.
How many locations you?
He actually I believe he did everything from one location.
Wow.
And moving different places.
Wow.
I think as far as I know, there was no I believe it was all shot right there.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah, it's a cool piece.
Yeah, I cannot wait to see
yeah.
it. Now you have a Indiegogo. Is
Yes.
that related to that?
This is a different project. That's a different project.
Tell us about it.
And this is a project that has come about again through Clubhouse. And friends, family that we created this group that we were doing table reads 6 times a week on Clubhouse. And a couple of the girls are writers, and they've been writing together for a while now, and had all these projects that they really wanted to get on their feet, and said, you know what, why don't we just make something? We've got all these people, we've got all these fantastic actors, let's see what we can do. And here we are, and we're doing it. It's an amazing, amazing story based on a true story about women who are survivors of pardon me, of human trafficking and sexual assault and all kinds of rough cycles that you get caught up in, that are, anybody can get caught up in, really, and following their story. And it's a really powerful piece that we are really looking forward to making.
So this is a feature length?
It is it is not quite a feature. I think we're calling it a short at the moment.
Yeah, I see.
But it's about,
So you're hoping people can donate money?
Donate
on
anything.
Indiegogo.
Anything on Indiegogo. Yeah, there will be a link in my Instagram bio later today. And you can also follow at Lois Places Film on Instagram, and all the information is there. And every little bit helps. Pardon me. Every little, if you can only donate $1, we'd love to have it. We're not fussy that way.
Does Indiegogo have a deadline, or it's?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
I don't believe so.
Yeah,
at the moment,
like some other crowdfunding, like say there's the other one. What's the famous one?
Yes, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. I know.
Coming in my brain right now.
I'm just my tongue is not going there.
Yeah.
It's like if you don't reach your goal and you don't get the funding. But I think Indiegogo is different.
Yeah, I think so. I hope
right?
so.
Yeah, and they do take a percentage though.
Yeah. Yeah, I was not this. I think I said to you earlier, tech is not necessarily my strong suit. So I was not in charge of that. I muddle through, but
yeah. So I was asking you about you went through ups and downs, and so how would you advise someone who is a student actress or singer or filmmaker? What is your if you would have to tell them like how to continue pursuing this craft, because it's so not easy.
It is not.
Yeah.
It is not. It's not easy. And it's a lot, I've been through personal ups and downs, but just in the industry, it's a lot of up and down. It's a lot of, you're working a lot and then all of a sudden you're not working at all. And a lot of, you hear a lot of no, but you can't focus on that. You just have to keep coming back until you hear that yes, because it's so subjective. There's no, you can't tell yourself you messed up in an audition. You just have to understand that you don't know what someone's picture of the character is in their head, and you can't predict that. So don't try. Go in there, be yourself, do your work, do your preparation, know what make sure you've taken the time to analyze your script before you get in the audition room, and just go for it. And that's all you can do. And the more you do, the more likely you are to move forward. The more auditions you do, the more times you hear no, the closer you are to a yes. There's a great one that I've heard a few times, which is great. It's a nice sentiment, I think.
So tell me a little bit about what does it take to be a voiceover actor? Like, do you have to have these fancy room and cushioned with all kinds of sound?
I think you have to have a little bit of space for yourself, for sure, that you can block off and make. I think that makes it easier for sure. I unfortunately don't have a booth set up in my house, which has been challenge for me over the last couple of years, because everything sort of went to home studio recording, and between the dogs and the child and myself and the farm and everything, it's kind of hard to get any quiet around here. But
how does people get gigs from voiceover? There's there like audition list you can look
there's of course Backstage is a great resource.
Okay.
And then there's also a few other there's Voices 123. There's some pay to play sites where you can you have a subscription and you put your reel up there and sort of go looking for jobs, and people post jobs that are available and things like that. I have not done a ton. I got my commercial voiceover demo back 2 weeks before the shutdown began. And then because I didn't have a studio in my house and I haven't had the ability to create that, I have just been kind of sitting on it. Not sure what to do with it, and not I know what to do with it. I have it posted on my Backstage and but again, most of most jobs that are posted out there are looking for someone that has an in-home studio. And so it's something that I've been sort of trying to figure out how to work around myself. I think probably Bob Daniel is a great resource for something like that, or Chris Bass, our friends on Clubhouse. They are very good at that.
Well, I hear myself again.
Oh no.
I hear echoey. Yeah. Hold on. So now it's better.
Better,
weird.
better.
It's weird.
Fantastic.
I tell you, because you came to my screening, right?
Mhm.
Movie, and my voiceover, it was throughout the film. I walk my audience through.
Yeah.
You know how I did it? I just did it in this computer right now. I have a MacBook Pro 2018.
Yep.
I just spoken into this Yeti,
Yep.
and
Gotta love the Yeti.
yeah, and in the back,
All about the Yeti.
yeah, and in the back, I have a wall, but then I put a piece of paper. It's like a twisted
Oh.
paper,
Uh-huh.
and
I
I'll
see
show
it
you.
folded like that.
But what I'm trying to say is, I didn't have a booth. I
Right.
just like talked like this.
Yeah,
My
right in
name
it.
is Ching Juhl, like that.
Mhm.
So it came out actually pretty good, right?
Yeah, it came
Right?
out great.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
what I'm trying to
Good to
say is,
know.
forget about this booth. I
Right.
think you can, if you happen to be in a spot, because your house is different from mine, and it depends on how bounced into the different wall, or
Mhm.
how far or how close, or what's your ceiling
Yeah.
like. Maybe you can just, you can get
Play
away,
around with that.
right?
For
Yeah, you
sure.
can get away
Yeah, it's
without,
time. It's
wi-
time.
yeah, without so-called, these
Mhm.
perfect setting,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I think there's a certain level too for me of like I said, fear of the tech and fear of the, and that is a huge battle as an actor. Any kind of actor is getting past those walls of fear and getting past those places where, especially as I've come back to it, I'm learning where those walls are that I'm coming up against, and what are the blocks that I need to work through. And that's been a really interesting experience, trying to, and that's what we all do, right? That's the human condition, is finding ways to improve what we're doing.
Right, definitely.
and
Now,
improve ourselves.
so you became a parent in a very young age,
Yeah.
and how do you deal with that? Like, what is your tips?
Yeah, I was 21 when I had my daughter, and I was a single parent by the time I was 22. And it's been amazing. It's an amazing journey. I made certain choices, like I said, to walk away from my career for a while to be home with her, and worked locally in restaurants and things like that. And now she's 16. She's amazing. She's gorgeous. She's doing theater herself now. She's been bitten by the bug. I was kind of hoping secretly that she'd go off and, be a scientist or something, break the cycle. But it's not happening. She just did spelling bee at her high school. And played Logan. If anybody knows the show, she did a great job. It was a fantastic show. And it's, we're working on it. We're working on it together. And I try to be very open with her, and aware of the, if I'm gone too much, or if I need to, be home for a couple of weeks, and just make sure that everything's kosher again. And then, back to it and back and forth, and just keeping each other in the loop and communicating. Again, she's older too. So we're able to do that.
Yeah. That's wonderful.
And she's very supportive also, which is amazing. She really wants me to be able to succeed at this too, which is great.
Yeah,
Support
that's
each other.
wonderful.
And I also have the help of my mother, who is amazing.
I'd
My
love
mother.
to meet your daughter sometime.
Yeah.
And your mom. Is your mom live closer to you?
Yeah, we're actually, we've got our little compound going here. We're on the same property.
Yeah.
She's got her place and I've got mine, and we've got the barn here with the horses. And
so tell me a little bit about your property and your horses. Like, who take care of it? Do you have like a lot of illegal immigrant? Just kidding.
Not anymore. No.
I'm just kidding.
So when my mother stopped acting, we moved. So my father had found this property. He had worked on a film called End of the Road and shot that here in the Berkshires when he was working out of New York way back in the day, long before I was born. This was in the 70s. And he made friends with a bunch of people locally and found this little property, this little cottage, and eventually, bought the little cottage up the driveway and sort of built this property that was his and his sort of weekend getaway. And then when I was 5 or 6, they added onto the house and decided we're going to live here in the country.
Sorry. I
Yeah.
hear some noise. Like,
It's my dog chewing on his bone. I'm surprised you haven't heard it before now. I've been kind of sitting here thinking, I wish, could you just find something else to do for 20 minutes? And could you maybe take the bone in the bedroom and chew it in? No, it's not happening.
No,
He's
I had a
right
dog
behind
before.
the chair.
That's like the bone is really big, like really big like that, and they love to chewing on it. Yeah, no, it's lovely.
He's busy.
Lovely.
At least he's not barking though. So,
yeah. So continue. So you said, sorry.
So, when I was about 5 or 6, they decided that they wanted to live here as opposed to being in the city. And so my parents were still commuting back and forth. My mother would get up at 4 a.m. and take the train from Hudson into New York. She made such good friends with the conductors. The conductors all knew her, so they just let her hop on and go, back and forth. That became a lot. The backing and the forthing and upping and the downing. And we had someone here who would, she'd drop me off with them and then they'd get me to school and then, it was a lot. So when she left that life, she started a horse training and boarding facility. We did hunter jumpers. We fox hunted. We drove. We did combined driving, which is really fun and exciting. She and her best friend competed all up and down the East Coast of the United States and Canada, and made it to the team for the World Finals of combined driving. And then the finals were canceled because they were going to be in New Jersey the same year that the West Nile virus appeared, and the Europeans wouldn't let their competitors bring their horses over.
Yeah.
So, but there is a lot of that in my upbringing and being on the farm and working with the horses and being around the horses and constantly. And I, in my later years, switched over to riding Western, and I do team penning and sorting. I like to go chase cows on my horse and go fast now.
Yeah.
And that's a ton of fun. That's our fun family weekend excursion,
Yeah. No, that's wonderful. So it's like you learn how to take care of animals, and also it's a sport for you, could be, right? And riding a horse, it's also very practical, one day if there's any no vehicles, how to ride a horse.
I'm not gonna have a problem. So there, I can ride, I can drive, I can get anywhere. So there.
And you know what this is also helps you to get a rose.
Yeah. Oh God, any little advantage you can give yourself. Yeah, absolutely.
So does your daughter ride?
Yep, she does pony club. She chases cows. She does all kinds of fun stuff.
Yeah. So what do you do with these horses now? Like
now we've got 6. So I've got 2. My daughter's got 2, and my mother's got 2. And we go on the weekends. We still do the team penning and sorting and all the cowboy games, which is a lot of fun. We haven't really, it's hard in the winter to do anything really because it's so snowy and gross, and the ground gets really hard, which is great for them. And my daughter also does pony club, and so there's a lot of competing in the summer and running up and down the road with a trailer and things like that. And that my mother and my daughter are, I've pulled back a little bit from the horses as my focus has gone back to the acting, simply because with the back and forth from New York and here and there and everywhere, there's only so many hours in the day.
Right.
But I do still get on every once in a while here and there. And I'm actually now, I'm taking care of them. So my mother does most of that. My mother and Jasmine are really the ones who are involved in that at the moment.
Do they have a place like a barn when they go sleep? Is it difficult to take care of the horse in winter, or it's the same?
It's cold. This winter, there's always something. It's warm. There's always something going on. This winter, a couple of the spigots weren't working, so you'd have to truck the water in from the field out front and things like that, that can be a bit challenging. Frozen buckets and stuff, but it's part of the game.
Who takes care of that chicken?
I try to when I can because I love them. They're adorable. They're so much fun. They're so funny to watch, and they're just sweet. You know, they're not super friendly. They don't want to be your pal necessarily. There's usually I make friends with one or two. I've got one right now that follows me around the barn when I'm doing chores and stuff, and she wants to know everything I'm doing and get into everything.
It's funny. Wow.
Yeah.
They're like they're better than cat though, because the cat sometimes only they come to you when they want to come to you. Right? At least
the chickens you might have to chase them down a little bit to grab them, but
yeah. So do you get to eat very healthy eggs, right? You don't have to
we've
buy
got the
eggs
best
anymore.
eggs, and our chickens we keep them organic, and it's all free range and all those fun things. And we've got eggs. We've got eggs coming out of our ears.
Wow.
But it's nice, I share them with my friends and give people here and there. Eggs for breakfast all the time.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. Yeah. So tell us a little bit, ideally, from voiceover to acting to producing, to all of these different roles you do, being a mother and being a farmer. And what is your, do you have a favorite thing you want to do?
Well, I love acting. I live for acting. I live to sing. Musical theater is a thing that has always been near and dear to my heart. I would love, now that the movie musical is back, that would be the ideal spot for me. But at the same time, theater is still very hard. I want to be coming into New York and working in the theater and doing all of those things. But at the same time, I do still live here. I have my daughter is here. It's hard for me to get away for long enough right now. Still, I'm working out how to do that, what that looks like. How do I find the balance and be able to do that? But things like film, TV, where it's a little bit less of, there's different kinds of commitment and different kinds of time commitments and travel commitments. But I love to travel. So if anybody wants to give me a job where I have to travel, please be my guest. I'm going to Greece in September for the 5 to 9 Club Creative, the inaugural is the word I'm looking for, Creative Festival.
Good for you.
So I'm really looking forward to that.
You get to meet Deborah.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah. She's so cool. I interviewed her.
You did?
Before. Yeah. If you type her name onto Google,
I'm going to go find it.
She's so cool. She's so cool. Yeah. She's so European.
Yeah.
You know what she did? She was like,
oh, yeah. You're European.
In America, you're not supposed to smoke. If you smoke, you're a bad guy. Yeah. So people are hiding.
Yeah.
You smoke it.
Very American to hide everything.
Yeah. Outside the building, right?
Right.
And then you're in the corner and you just smoke your cigarette like a bad guy, a bad person. Yeah. But she's on my TV on my show. It's like. Anyway, it's a lot of fun. So I wanted to tell something a little serious. And last Sunday it was the Oscar. So after the Oscar, no one talks anything but Will Smith. So what is your position? How do you feel?
I feel like there are so many more things going on in the world right now. I mean, I get it. It's a clickbait thing. It was exciting. It was, it was a thing. It is not the first time something like that has occurred at the Oscars. It is maybe the first time something like that has occurred live on the air where people are actually able to see it. They managed to keep it hidden before. And I love the memes that are going and Twitter threads that are going around right now where people are saying the way I feel about the Oscar slap is there is so much more going on in the world right now. Why are we still talking about this?
Yeah.
People. And another thing too, actors, famous people who are in your screens all the time are people. They're still people. And they still make mistakes and they still have reactions and they're still human, and so to expect them to be at their very best every single second that you're watching them is just ridiculous. Was it poor timing? Absolutely. Will I condemn either of them? I mean, there were some taste questions for sure, but
Mhm.
you know, we're humans. We're
Yeah.
some people.
I heard he's retiring
Yeah.
from Oscar. Yeah.
From the yeah, I did. I read that
From the Academy. Yeah.
from the Academy. Yeah.
Yeah. What does that mean? Retiring means he's not a member.
He's no longer a member of the Academy of the Academy.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. That means he cannot vote.
Of motion
right?
picture sciences. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's no longer allowed to vote on the Academy Awards. I don't know if he's allowed to receive awards. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure what that looks like.
Yeah.
Um
Yeah. Speaking
I
of Academy, and is your father is a member? Your mom?
My father was, yeah. My father was a member of the Academy and would vote to nominate documentary films, which is why I was so excited to come see your film, because he used to take me when I was a kid, again, to go see these screenings of all the documentaries that were being reviewed that year. And so I got a great education in documentary filmmaking when I was from a very young age. And I've always just loved it. It's just the greatest thing because, you know, filmmaking is wonderful because we get to tell all of these stories, but documentary filmmaking is the telling of the real story of the real person. And there's just so many amazing characters and so many amazing stories to be told. And I love the different ways that people tell these stories and look at things. I think it's just fascinating.
Yeah. Were you surprised? Like when you see my film, what were you expecting, or do you have any expectations?
I tried not to go into it with a lot of expectations. I knew you from Clubhouse. I'd never met you in real life, but I knew you were a really cool person. That much I could tell. You were really fun. You were really funky. So I was expecting something sort of, you know, I knew I had an idea of who you were. So I sort of could say, okay, this might be what it is, but I try not to go into it with expectations because I wanted to see what you had built and not be thinking, well, this is what it, you know. I try to go at a lot of, you know, anything that I'm watching that way.
Yeah. So what do you think of the film was shot on iPhone 11?
You'd never know. You'd never know. I mean, it was amazing. It was what you did. I think I said this earlier. You captured this community so beautifully. It was about the people. It was about the campaign and all the things that were going on, but really it came down to this incredible community. And as far as I'm concerned, especially in documentary filmmaking, you know, it's verite. It's what's happening. It doesn't matter if you shot it on an iPhone or a $30,000 camera. It's the content. It's who are you talking about? Were you able to find these people? Were you able to give us a picture of what's happening in these people's lives and who these people are? And you did that amazingly. Pardon me. I really enjoyed it a lot.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I really appreciate you come and organize the whole party for us.
Oh, that was so much fun.
Yeah. So we are almost to our 5 o'clock. At 5 o'clock we're gonna do a rapid fire game, and I'm just pinning Sharkfin's comment. He says, can you read it?
Yeah, he says, I agree with Johanna. People are dying by the score in Ukraine, and we are still struggling with the pandemic, not to mention inflation, etc. But I'm glad there are consequences for Will's action. Yeah, and I mean, there are consequences that he took himself, you know. He knew, you know, it was a moment. It was a moment. He had a reaction. He felt a certain way about it, and these things happen.
Yeah. Well, let's see. Sure. Why don't we do a last word and then we move on to our game? So you go first. And do you have anything you want to shout out?
I think we talked about all the awesome projects that I'm doing and 5 to 9 and all those amazing people, and Deborah, I love you, and Bob and Jerry Weil and Bob Daniel and all the wonderful people that I work with so regularly. Laura McKee on 5 to 9. You guys are amazing and I adore you. And my mom, I think my mom is watching.
Hi, Mom.
Yeah, and for all the actors, the young actors out there, just keep putting one foot in front of the other, keep studying, read all you can, watch all the master classes, go to class, be in class, always be working on something, always be reading a monologue, and the more you do, the better you're going to get.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you so much. My so-called last word is yeah, please. If you haven't seen my film, go to Vimeo on demand. Just type in My Young Gun Diary. Here is the link. You can see the film, but you have to spend like $4.99, which I think you can afford.
Yeah.
And then please
It's worth
subscribe.
it.
Yeah,
It's
please.
a steal, is what it is.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Yeah.
For $5.99.
Yeah, when Johanna has to drive herself from Massachusetts to
Right.
New York, that's like it's the gasoline is.
It was $44.99.
And then please subscribe Juhl Media YouTube channel. Do you have a YouTube channel?
I do not have a YouTube
Okay,
channel yet.
okay. You should have one. You should have one.
Yeah, I should.
Yeah,
Working on it.
Yeah. So please subscribe my YouTube channel, you guys, if you can. All right. So let's do a game that's called Rapid Fire. Basically, is just a short question. Oh, Sharkfin ask, does 529 have a club on Clubhouse? Yes. Just type in 529 and you can join. That's how I because I follow Deborah Wooten, and then I went into their room, and then they're being very supportive to me. Okay, so how about, let me see. I'm trying to okay. All right. So thank you so much for being with me. It's a lot of fun, and and we should keep in touch.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and come to New York. I'll definitely, take you out.
Yeah, I'm in town on Fridays right now, so if you want to grab lunch or something, just let me know.
Yeah. Text me. Okay, yeah. Okay. What's your favorite color?
Purple these days.
So, what is your favorite genre food?
All of it. I love food. I worked in restaurants for 20 years. I was a whole animal butcher for a while. That was fun. Really interesting. But yeah, I'm all about farm to table. I'm all about know where your food came from. As long as I know that, then just feed me.
Yeah. Are you an organic person?
I am, as much as I can be. Yeah. And when I can, I get a farm share in the summer. So it's coming right from down the road, and we plant some stuff here, but with everything else going on, there's
yeah, that's wonderful. What's your favorite junk food?
Oh, Nissan ramen.
Ramen. Oh, that's
ramen.
so good.
Oh yeah, that's
so
been a good one lately. Oh, Tate's chocolate chip cookies. Tate's Big Chop, those good ones in the green box. Cool. Yeah. And soft serve ice cream with the chocolate chip.
I do not eat sweets much, but yeah, ramen noodle is a killer. It's a killer. If you eat too much, you're gonna be brain damaged.
Yeah, exactly. Every once in a while, just every once in a while, when there's really no other time.
Yeah. So, have you traveled to a foreign country you really want to go back?
Oh, I can't wait to go back to Copenhagen. I got to travel there with my grandfather. I love it. It's one of my favorite places. Oh, look, there's my mom. Yeah, she's here.
Hi, Mom.
She's here and she's loving it.
Mom. Copenhagen. That's a very expensive place.
Copenhagen. I was lucky enough to get to travel there with my grandfather. And that was a very, very special experience because he was so well known. He was knighted over there. He was really special. And so
for those of you who don't know who is grandfather of Johanna is the famous pianist Victor, how do you say last name?
Victor Borge.
Victor Borge. Yeah. Who is a comedian and also a great pianist. Now, did he influence you to play the piano?
I think I said this earlier. My parents got me piano lessons when I was a kid, and I enjoyed it. It was great, but it turned into me bringing sheet music so that the piano teacher could play while I would sing.
Oh.
And so then my parents decided that voice lessons were a better investment.
Oh.
So I went a different direction. It's something, again, I got to pick up a viola and I got to start playing. I can plink things out on the piano. I can find my way around for sure, but I am no virtuoso. One of my cousins really got that gene. He's phenomenal musician. He also played at Newport that summer.
Yeah. So what is the thing you like about Copenhagen?
It's a beautiful city. It's a very welcoming city. I remember just feeling comfortable in there, just as young as, walking around by myself at 15. It's the history that's everywhere. Any of those old European cities where there's just history everywhere. There's so many places I want to go, but it's just special to me. Yeah, I don't know. And, going to Tivoli in the midst, they've got an amusement park in the middle of the city. It can't be that bad. Danes know how to have fun. And the music scene, there's a great jazz scene in Copenhagen. I love finding the little jazz clubs in Copenhagen and just bumming around and exploring. It's beautiful.
That's beautiful. Yeah. So I have a question related to your grandfather. Does he have what do you call it? For whatever he does, right? It's very original and very organic and very, very, how do I say, what's the word? Authentic.
Authentic.
Yeah. Did he have anyone to inherit his art? Did he breed any student?
I don't know that he had like protege types. I don't know that he had that necessarily. He may have. I was only 16 when he passed. So there's a lot I know and there's a lot I missed, but I can tell you that my mother got his comedy gene. She is a phenomenal comedian.
That's
and
awesome.
she's got that part.
Would we be able to see your mom's anything online? What's her name?
Frederica Borga.
Oh,
she was in a film called Tattoo a very long time ago. There are definitely some great pictures of us doing our improv show that we were doing over the pandemic in my Instagram. And there's not a lot out there. I keep trying to convince her to start a TikTok because I know she'd be TikTok famous in 2 seconds flat. She's that kind of funny.
Wow.
But she's just I got to get her to do it. I just enlisted a friend of mine, actually. So we're on it. Get ready.
Hey, Louis is here. Hi, Louis.
Hi, Louis.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Our friend from Clubhouse.
Mm-hmm.
Also his friend with Sharkfin. Yeah. So what kind of people you want to work with? Give me 3 words, 3 nouns.
Authentic. For sure. Driven. And neither of those are nouns, by the way.
Adjective.
Just occurred to me. Sorry, my brain.
Yeah, you're right.
That ADHD thing, the brain goes places and you don't have any control. Authentic, driven, passionate.
Mm-hmm.
Passionate about what they do. I think those are the 3 biggest things. Talented, of course, but that's a bonus.
Mm-hmm.
But people who have a clear vision and really are committed to art and to telling stories and to telling authentic stories and telling stories that matter.
Yeah, beautiful. What is which book do you read recently you would like to recommend us?
Oh, what have I got? Well, I've got The Artist's Way sitting right here. That's a good one. Oh, yep, you can't see it. I'm gonna not do that again. By Julia Cameron.
Yeah.
But that is great for any artist, any actor, anybody, any human who is trying to free their creativity and find that again.
It's a biography.
No, it's kind of a workshop on unblocking yourself, on working through creative blocks, and there's a great by Julia Cameron.
Julia Cameron. Is there any relationship with the Cameron?
I don't think so. No. Yeah.
The director.
Yeah. No, I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
I don't think so. But it's a really great book. I also have here The Power of the Actor, which is great. It's by Ivana Chubbuck. That's one of my favorite go-to acting books on acting. And of course, Uta Hagen's books, as I'm an HB trained actor. I've read those time and time again. Oh God, I'm always reading like 3 or 4 books at once, and I never remember which one's which until I pick it up, and I'm like, oh yeah. I've got some plays that I'm reading. I've got some monologues that I'm working on from different books.
When I cannot finish a book, and then I buy audiobook, so I listen to it.
Oh yeah.
That's
you know what
I
I just discovered was Speechify, the app Speechify, where if you can't find an audiobook, you just scan the book into this app and it reads it to you.
Oh.
And you can
my God.
Yeah, like PDFs and plug them in and it'll read it to you. And you can take all kinds of, I love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Copyright invasion.
Well, so I am dyslexic and I am ADHD. And when I was in school, I always had to have all my textbooks. I had all my textbooks from the Library for the Blind and Dyslexic on tape. So I could listen and read at the same time. And that is an invaluable tool to someone who has maybe trouble processing or pulling words up off a page, especially as an actor. For me to have the ability to take my script and plug it in without having to record the whole thing is an immensely huge help, because then I can work through it and it helps me with the comprehension and stuff like that.
Yeah. So I always ask my guests, if you had a chance to have dinner with 3 persons, who would you like to?
Anytime.
It has to be living one.
Oh, they have to be living? They have to be living?
Yeah.
Now? Yeah. That's harder. That's more difficult.
It's more difficult. Okay, you can include one
dead person. Okay.
Dead one.
Well, that would be. We'll go with Katharine Hepburn then, because I would love to have a chat with her. Oh, I told you I'm so bad at the name game. I can't. I said, my mother. My mother says I'm here. Yeah. Sure. I think
That's funny.
Well, Deborah Wooten, I can't wait to have dinner with her. Very much looking forward to that.
Yes. Definitely. Tell us who's Deborah Wooten.
Deborah Wooten is the man behind the magic, the woman behind the magic of the 5 to 9 Club on Clubhouse, and she is just a powerhouse. This woman, I'm gonna meet
an animation artist.
Yeah, she's an animator and producer, and just she does amazing things for the community as well.
Yeah. Okay, third person.
I was hoping you'd forget. You. I want to have dinner with you.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
I know we did that once, but not really. There were a lot of other people there, so we have to have our own dinner. It was a celebration of that amazing film.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that's all doors. Thank you for hosting that. Anyhow, so I have to leave early. Yeah. So you do not like to talk about which is favorite film, but have you seen anything, the film lately you really like?
Yeah, I told nobody else knows this, so I'll just spill it. I'm terrible at the game of what's your favorite thing, because there's just so many and everything's great.
Yeah.
Not everything's great, but there's so much to pick from. What am I watching? I've been watching a lot of TV recently and catching up on my Netflixes and the things like that. Of course, Bridgerton, the new season of Bridgerton is out, and that was a lot of fun. The Inventing Anna was great.
Is it a TV show?
Yeah, that's on Netflix. I really enjoyed that a lot. Outlander, I'm not gonna lie.
I love it. I love it.
I've been saving it all day.
Oh my God.
In the morning, and I'm like, I'm gonna wait until after the interview to go.
Yeah.
That's gonna be my big treat.
I missed a lot. I haven't followed up enough. I was in in the middle, and then I didn't follow. That is such a wonderful
It really is. It's so fun. She's amazing.
Yeah.
I can't wait to watch. I still haven't watched Belfast. There are 2 people that I'd love to meet: Katrina Balfe and Kenneth Branagh. I love Kenneth Branagh. And so I'm really looking forward to watching that at some point. I haven't had the time to sit around, when I put stuff on in the evening, I'm doing stuff and I don't, so then I don't want to get caught up in a film that's going to keep me up for another 2.5 hours, but I also don't want to, so I have to find the balance, find the watching time.
Right. Yeah. Wonderful. Speaking of watching TV or Netflix or cinema, I 2 weeks ago the experience sort of reinforced the idea that we should still go to cinema to watch movie, because the experience is so different from watching from your own computer or even television, right? It's because it's dark. In that 2 hour or 1 hour and a half, you cannot do anything else but experience the whole thing from beginning to the end.
Well, and films are shot to be shown. I mean, it's changing now. That's shifting for sure. But my father gave me a great education in watching movies, right? Because we got screeners that we were getting, we get all the screeners to our house. And then he'd take me to screenings in New York as well. And he'd teach me, you got to find the seat in the middle of the theater, and you got to be able to, you want to be on the certain level with the screen and this and that and the other thing, to experience it the way that the filmmaker created it, to experience what their vision was. And it's so important. And aside from seeing what their vision was, there's the collective experience of being in a theater, and whether that's a live performance or a film, of being in a theater with a bunch of other people and experiencing that audience, getting caught up in being a part of the audience, and in everybody having this, there's these waves of emotion and these waves of energy that go through the audience, laughing as a group, crying as a group, experiencing this story as a group of humans in a space, and the energy exchange. One of the things I miss the most about live theater and doing live theater is that energy exchange between the actors and the audience, and between the audience itself and between the actors together. And it's just such an amazing feeling to be a part of that. And it's the same thing when you go to watch a film, you're having the same experience. And I think that's so important, especially to the experience of seeing a film. It's very different to sit at home on your couch by yourself at, 10 o'clock at night and watch a movie.
Eating potato chips
with your popcorn or your kettle corn, right?
That's
another good junk food.
I really echo what you said, is the audience. You watch their reaction. It's just so satisfying. I kick myself. I did not put a recorder there just to record, whenever they laugh, whenever they
reactions,
cheer for the moment, because I don't know. I've seen it for hundreds of times, and so it's a different experience. Yeah, and also I would encourage also people go to live concert, right? So you stay home.
I miss live music.
I know, live concert, right? Any genre.
There are a few venues open here in the area. There's a great little venue right down the road from me called the Egremont Barn that I try to go to when I can. I just haven't been out much lately. Between the back and forth and everything else, the last thing on my list is to go out. But I love live music, and again, I grew up in that. I like to say I had my my Carnegie Hall debut when I was 5, and my grandfather was playing Carnegie Hall on my birthday, and he had the happy birthday bit in his routine, right? And we had he pointed out to the audience that I was there, and it was my birthday, and I was up in a box, and we had a whole conversation from the box to the stage. But I grew up, live theater, live music, it's important to me. And even down to, it's such a funny thing. My mother taught me this when I was very young. I don't know if you've ever had the opportunity to lay under a grand piano.
No.
When someone's playing, especially someone who can really play.
Yeah.
Next time you have that chance, do it. Because what happens is all the sound comes out from the bottom of the piano, right? So all those vibrations are just washing over you as you're laying under it, and you're just completely immersed. And the same kind of thing happens when you're in a live concert and you've got the speakers coming at you, especially if it's like a loud pop or rock or something big and loud and fun. You can have that same sort of experience of feeling the vibrations of the music, which is incredible. And really special experience.
That's wonderful. Okay, so I have 2 more questions. One is, if I take you for a happy hour right now, what would you order?
My drink of choice is an Espolòn soda lime.
What the hell is that?
Tequila.
Oh,
Tequila
okay.
with club soda and a lime.
Oh, okay, you guys listen. Oh, your mom was asking me or asking you? Said, did you submit your documentary to the BIFF?
The Berkshire International Film Festival, which happens right here in Great Barrington, Massachusetts. I don't know if submissions are still open for this year, but you should check it out for sure. Okay. It's a great, great, great festival right here. They've been around for about 20 years now, at least, and have shown some really fantastic films over the years.
Oh, great! Yeah, I've been in Berkshire a few years ago. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I went to also Tanglewood.
Tanglewood.
Yeah, festival. Yeah, and stayed in someone in Berkshire. Yeah, so they have a house. Anyway, last question. Sorry. Shark Fin, agree. There's no substitute for the music, and I would throw in theater, stand-up comedy, and spotting events as well. Thank you so much, Shark Fin, for being with us. So everybody, thank you, Mom, to be with us, and thank you, What to see more, and also Louis and earlier, and so thank you for these people that you didn't write anything, but I know you're there. So yeah, last question, very easy. Coffee or tea?
Coffee all day. I drink tea here and there. I do like it, but I'm a coffee girl. Yeah. My dad was a coffee head. He had an espresso machine in the house. He taught me how to make espresso when I was like 12.
Wow.
Oh yeah. Wow. Oh yeah.
Coffee.
Keep the beans in the freezer and the whole nine.
Yeah. Wonderful. Okay, so so great to talk to you. So great to see you again, and it's been so much fun. This is great.
Thank you so much for having me. This has been an awesome way to spend my Sunday afternoon. I had no idea. I was a little nervous coming in, but this has been really, really great. Thank you.
Yeah, you're so much fun to talk to. So yeah, let's keep in touch.
Absolutely.
And, and let me know, your.
And we'll have to go grab that drink sometime.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, tequila sunrise. Okay, I'm gonna say goodbye to our audience first.
Awesome.
Goodbye, people. Thanks for coming.
Thank you all.
Yeah, thank you.